Starting off this countdown, we have Bill Hader and Rachel Bilson. In 2013, the pair met while on set of the movie The To-Do List, but at the time they were both in relationships. Fast forward to 2019, the couple had both moved on from their past partners and found each other. The relationship was officially confirmed at the Golden Globes in January, where they made a debut together. However, on July 10th, it was reported that Bill and Rachel have split. Although the two have called it quits, they remain amicable. In our 9th spot, we have Jeff Lewis and Scott Anderson. Jeff Lewis, known for his show Flipping Out, revealed on his radio show on May 4th that the couple will be splitting after a year of dating. He said, and I quote, "We called it quits over the weekend. The last 8 weeks have been kind of rough. He's had a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, and it got to the point where I felt that he was hypercritical of me." He then said that the reason for their split was because there was a lot of negativity and always a lot of complaining. He also stated that he regrets not going to therapy with Scott, but everything happens for a reason. But then on June 4th, Jeff shared a photo of him and Scott out with another couple. Could it be a double date? We don't know for sure. It may just be that the couple remain amicable. Moving on to number 8, we have Ashley Benson and Cara Delevingne. I wish this one wasn't true. They were so cute together. In early April, multiple sources confirmed that the two had called it quits after almost 2 years of dating. A source said, and I quote, "Cara and Ashley always had their ups and downs before, but it's over now." The pair were first spotted back in August of 2018 when they were photographed kissing at an airport. In 2019, Delevingne confirmed their relationship. Now the two have moved their separate ways, and Delevingne has been separate from Benson, quarantining with her friends.
At number 7, Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. Now obviously we couldn't make a list talking about the messiest breakups without including Taylor Swift. I mean, she's built her entire career on breakup songs, and you obviously can't have the breakup song without the breakup. Arguably, one of Taylor's messiest breakups was with DJ Calvin Harris, and though it didn't end up with a lot of upfront hostility, there was a lot of shade, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of drama. After a brief relationship, Taylor and Calvin broke up in 2016, and when news broke of their split, it was speculated that they broke up because their spark had fizzled out and that things just weren't working out for them. No hostility and no drama, they just fell out of love. Things were fine until Taylor went public with her new relationship with Marvel actor Tom Hiddleston a little over 2 weeks after breaking up with Calvin. This started to stir drama because some fans, as well as some news sources, believed that Taylor was only dating Tom to make Calvin jealous. Tom and Taylor were seen traveling together and meeting Taylor's parents. Meanwhile, Calvin was being bombarded by paparazzi asking about his take on this new relationship. Things escalated into the music world as reports came out involving Rihanna into Taylor and Calvin's relationship troubles, and Calvin even alleged that Taylor was still texting him weeks after they were over. This breakup was unnecessarily messy, but it made for some good music content for Taylor. At number 6, Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. Another complicated relationship here, this time with former One Direction member Zayn Malik and Little Mix member Perry Edwards. After meeting in 2011, dating in 2012, and getting engaged in 2013, Zayn and Perry's perfect world came crumbling down in 2015 after a dramatic and messy public breakup. When news broke of their split, fans just had to know why. These two were loved by so many fans, and for them to suddenly call it quits, people wanted to know what was going on. It was alleged that Zayn broke up with Perry over text, but I don't know if that was really true or not. About a week after initial reports of their split, fans learned that the couple's home was put on the market, and that apparently Zayn had asked Perry to move out of their house shortly after their breakup. Perry was having a hard time with the sudden split, even breaking down in tears on stage at one of her girl group's concerts. Meanwhile, news outlets were reporting on Zayn's parties at his Bel Air mansion. The media as well as fans were divided in choosing sides. Perry was being shown as the blindsided and broken one, while Zayn was being seen as aloof and cold. Not too long after the breakup, Zayn was seen hanging around model Gigi Hadid, and it was thought that Zayn had left Perry for Gigi. Eventually, things sort of died down between Perry and Zayn, with the two subtly shading each other every once in a while. At number 5, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley and Liam's relationship was certainly complicated. They were on and off for 10 years before ending things in 2019, and even then, their divorce was messy. Miley and Liam got married in December 2018, but after after 8 months of marriage, they confirmed their split and filed for divorce. What made things messy was Miley's unexpected and sudden relationship with Caitlyn Carter. Miley and Caitlyn took a trip together after their respective relationships had ended and entered into a new romantic relationship with each other. A lot of people speculated that Miley had cheated on Liam with Caitlyn and that it was the reason why she left him, but Miley denied those allegations. Liam and Caitlyn's ex Brody Jenner were seen shading their exes for moving on like this, but eventually things cooled off. Miley and Liam's divorce was finalized in January 2020, and apparently it was a very hard time for Miley, as she referred to the divorce as death because it was so big and so public. At number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. This is another one of those relationships that are just hard to map out because they're so all over the place and complicated. Much like Miley and Liam, Selena and Justin were on and off throughout the years, and so their breakup was just as messy because it spanned over a long time. It's almost as though they broke up in stages before finally calling it quits for good. Really, there is no official ending to their relationship because things were always up in the air. They would break up, and then the possibility of them getting back together was always there. Even when the two of them got into new relationships, things would always somehow come back to the two of them. Justin allegedly got into a fight with one of Selena's boyfriends because he still had feelings for her, and Selena would always be asked about Justin even if they weren't together. The time they spent in the news between relationships pretty much serves as their big messy breakup because, like I said before, it spanned for such a long time, it's like it was broken into phases like the MCU. I guess things officially ended for Jelena when Justin married Hailey Baldwin, and let's hope it stays that way because no one needs that toxic energy again.
Moving on to number 3, we have Scott Disick and Sofia Richie. The reality star and influencer Scott Disick and Sofia Richie have called it quits after just over 3 years together. The breakup was confirmed on May 27th after Scott's brief trip to rehab. One source says that they are technically split, but Sofia has been in touch with Scott. Another source says, and I quote, "There wasn't a fight or anything bad that happened between them. Sofia simply wishes to do her own thing while Scott takes care of his health." But another source claims that there's more to it than just that. The source says, and I quote, "Scott is always going to be in love with Courtney, and that's something Sofia has had to face since even before she got serious with him." They continue on to say that Sofia realized that she wasn't going to be Scott's priority. In our second spot, we have Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock. Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock have announced their split after 7 years of marriage. Clarkson filed for divorce on June 4th. A source told People magazine that, and I quote, "Things had changed in their marriage and the split was a while coming. They both work so hard, it's nearly impossible to enjoy each other, especially with the children needing constant attention." Another source says that the pandemic only made things worse for the two and just added too much stress on the relationship. The couple got married back in October of 2013 and shared 2 kids together. Source says that Clarkson is requesting joint physical and legal custody of their children, and also requested that the judge not grant spousal support to Brandon and that they split the cost of the legal fees. And in our number 1 spot, we have Vanessa Morgan and Michael Kopech. Actress Vanessa Morgan and White Sox pitcher Michael Kopech are getting a divorce after 6 months of marriage. On July 27th, Kopech filed for divorce, only 3 days after Morgan announced her pregnancy. On that Friday, the actress shared photos and videos from her baby shower, where she revealed that she was having a baby boy. However, her husband wasn't in attendance. The couple got engaged last July after only a year of dating, and got married earlier this year in January. Now, we don't know why the pair are splitting up, but sources have confirmed that Kopech is the father of Vanessa's child.
Number 10. Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm, and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt. and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary, Pardon Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell then later said Katy being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore.
Coming in at number 7, we have Ryan Seacrest and Shayna Taylor. Looks like third time isn't the charm when it comes to this couple. Ryan Seacrest and Shayna Taylor have broken up. Again. For the third time. Their rep told People on June 29th that, and I quote, Ryan and Shayna decided to end the romantic relationship amicably some time ago. They remain good friends, each other's biggest supporters, and will always cherish their time together as a couple. The couple started dating back in 2013 when they met through mutual friends. In 2014, they broke up for a brief period of time, but then moved in together in May of 2017. In 2019, the pair broke up again, but later that year they were spotted on vacation together and told sources that they had reconnected. But now the couple has split again. So what do you think? Is there still hope for them? Will they get back together again in the future? Let me know in the comments below. In our 6th spot, we have Julianne Hough and Brooks Laich. On May 29th, Julianne Hough and Brooks Laich announced that they will be splitting up after 3 years of marriage. The couple met back in 2013 and apparently hit it off instantly. Then in 2015, after a little more than a year and a half of dating, the two became engaged. In 2017, they tied the knot, but sadly they have made the decision to call it quits. They released a joint statement that read, "We have lovingly and carefully taken the time we have needed to arrive at our decision to separate. We share an abundance of love and respect for one another and will continue to lead with our hearts from that place. We kindly request your compassion and respect for our privacy moving forward." Apparently, the two were social distancing separately during the pandemic, and that's when they started to realize that they didn't mind being apart. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Stacey Dash and Jeffrey Marty. Stacey Dash, the actress best known for Clueless, announced on April 30th that her and her husband will be parting ways. She made an announcement on her Instagram that read, and I quote, "Hello everyone, my husband and I have made the hard decision of ending our marriage. After much prayer, I feel this is the right path for both of us. I wish him nothing but the best." She added, "Thank you everyone for your support and respecting our privacy during this difficult time." This is Dash's 4th time ending a marriage. The two got married in April of 2018, only 10 days after meeting each other. 10 days? That's not enough time to get to know someone. They could have been a serial killer for all we know, but thankfully that wasn't the case. The marriage lasted 2 years before they went their separate ways. Coming in at number 4, we have Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green started dating back in 2004 and tied the knot in 2010. From there, they had 3 sons together. But on May 18th, during an episode of Green's podcast, he announced their breakup. He said, and I quote, "Megan has always been honest with me. I've always been honest with her. We've had an amazing relationship. I will always love her, and I know she'll always love me." Although they both went their separate ways and Megan is now dating Machine Gun Kelly, Green still isn't filing for divorce yet. Source claims that he wants to give Megan space and is hopeful that they will find their way back to one another. That's really cute. At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie
had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katy had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katy then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katy want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface. Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars, to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye.
Number 10, Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. When Chris Pratt and Anna Faris decided to announce their split after 8 years of being married, they shocked the world as this fairy tale romance came to an abrupt end. With the couple finalizing their divorce in October of 2018, Chris hinted in social media posts that the two haven't been happy for quite some time. As he said, "Anna and I are sad to announce we are legally separating. We tried hard for a long time and we were really disappointed. Our son has 2 parents who love him very much, and for his sake, we want to keep this situation as private as possible moving forward. We still have love for each other and will always cherish our time together and continue to have the deepest respect for one another." Ending things on a mutual note, both Chris and Anna have been able to remain on good terms, and they continue to be great co-parents together. And friends, before we move on to this next spot on the list, let us know which divorce in the celebrity world completely shook your brain and you still are not over it down in the comments. Number 9, Jenna Dewan and Channing Tatum. Not so friendly exes Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan went from being Hollywood's it couple to divorced parents, and they haven't made it easy for others to determine whether or not they're on good terms with one another. The two actors began dating back in 2006 when they met on their movie set Step Up. By July of 2009, they tied the knot and began to grow their family, welcoming their first daughter in May of 2013. While the pair became a beloved celebrity couple by many, Jenna admitted in February of 2018 that the pair have struggled with their relationship like anyone else. She admitted they were not perfect and they had their fair share of disagreements. By April of 2018, the couple announced their split in a joint statement saying, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together." The couple then went on to say they were moving on different paths and ultimately decided it was best to be friends for the time being. Since the divorce, the exes have been co-parenting great together, and there seems to be no drama between them, at least for now.
At number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter to say, "It's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with." Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have J-Lo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when J-Lo was going to settle down with A-Rod, and then it never happened? Shortly after J-Lo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All J-Lo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. Number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell in love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children.
Number 2, Kris and Caitlyn Jenner. After being married for more than 2 decades, the momager Kris Jenner and 1976 Olympic gold medalist Caitlyn Jenner announced in late 2013 that they have been living apart for a year and they were officially filing for a divorce. At the time, many fans were quick to note that it looked like the pair split ultimately due to the fact that Caitlyn began opening up about her identity and transitioned to Caitlyn Jenner. However, Caitlyn squashed the rumors when she came to say, after 23 years, Kris and I went our separate directions. My identity, it was not a big part of us separating. There were so many other bigger issues out there. She claimed that her transition caused her to be more short-wired with Kris, and that it was that reason that caused their marriage to fail. Since the two's divorce, Kris has been really supportive to Caitlyn, and the pair support each other unconditionally.
At number 10, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Before Brangelina took over Hollywood, Bennifer was a thing. Actually, I don't know if they had a ship name, but if not, I just made one. You're welcome. Jennifer and Brad's romance story started in the 90s, meeting for the first time in 94, but going on their first date in 98. After 2 years of dating, the wedding of the year took place in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu because nothing says romance and everlasting love like standing on a cliff. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and Bennifer was no more. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of the cheating scandals, as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would bring this drama up from time to time, almost making it seem as though things aren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It seems as though Brad and Jen have reunited in 2020 as they are both now single, but I don't know if you can really call it a comeback from that heavily publicized breakup. At number 9, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. 2013 was a rough time for Twilight fans. Not only were they still heartbroken and mourning the death of their beloved vampiric saga, but they were also mourning the death of their OTPs, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Since the beginning of the Twilight franchise, fans were obsessed with Kristen and Rob's relationship, wishing that they would take their on-screen love into the real world. For years, the actors had shut down rumors that they were dating until 2011 when they finally confirmed that they were together. Fans were ecstatic and soon came speculations that a proposal was soon to come, but unfortunately that moment never came. In 2013, while working on the film Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen was caught cheating on Rob with the film's director, Rupert Sanders. Paparazzi had speculated that something was going on between them for a while, and so they finally got confirmations of this affair when the two were caught getting cozy together. When news of this scandal broke, it got crazy, and soon we saw statements from Rupert's wife, as well as news that Robert and Kristen had broken up officially. This ended with Kristen being labeled a homewrecker, and a lot of people still hate her for it. Rob's heartbreak was heavily publicized, and most people took his side, but really, I think their whole relationship was just a publicity stunt, and they needed a wild way to end it. But what do you guys think? Now, before I continue on with the video, please consider leaving a like on this video and check out my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you are looking for some more fun content as well. At number 8, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. By now, everyone and their mothers know about Johnny and Amber. Their relationship was highly publicized last year following their trial, but their initial breakup was also a messy ordeal, even though it happened nearly 5 years ago. Johnny and Amber first filed for divorce in 2016, but was finally finalized in 2017. Their divorce proceedings were quite the scandal, scandal as Amber made the accusation that Johnny had been abusive towards her, though now we all know that that was a big ol' ball of BS. In their divorce settlement, Amber was awarded $7 million to be paid by Johnny, and Amber claimed that she would be donating the money to 2 charities, which also turned out to be a lie. And they went their separate ways as Johnny kept their properties and cars. The biggest story to come out of this breakup was the bombshell of Johnny's treatment of his wife. Johnny lost a lot of work because of her claims, and his name was pretty much ruined because of it. Fast forward to 2020 and the drama continues, making this one of the messiest breakups ever.
Number 7. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Just as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie began with a bang on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, their marriage abruptly dissolved in the same manner. The longtime couple got engaged in 2012 and then got married in 2014 at their French chateau. However, after 11 years of being together, the couple decided to split for the health of their family. Pitt then released his own statement saying he was very saddened by the matter, and the only thing that mattered now was the well-being of the couple's children. On September 19th of 2016, Jolie filed divorce papers citing irreconcilable differences and requesting sole physical custody of their 6 children. As soon as the news broke, it didn't take long for gifs and memes to flood the internet. Stars were also quick to chime in. Chrissy Teigen tweeted, "Brad and Angelina, how am I supposed to go to work today?" Adele even dedicated her NYC concert to the former couple by saying, "I need to address the elephant in the room, but it's the end of an era." Since announcing the divorce, Angelina has made some pretty serious claims against Brad Pitt, and Brad has stayed pretty quiet on the matter. As the couple first stated to keep things between their divorce private, this turned out to not be the case, as the divorce has since been smeared across the tabloids since 2016, as the two have since yet to finalize matters officially. Number 6. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. On November 25th, 2020, Megan Fox filed for divorce from Brian Austin Green. At the time, she claimed the two have been separated since November of 2019. After being married for 10 years, the actress ultimately decided to file for divorce, as it was a decision that was a long time coming, especially now that she was in a relationship with MGK. Kelly and Fox met on the film Midnight in the Switchgrass in 2019. In court papers, Megan asked for joint legal and physical custody of her and Green's sons. She also asked to terminate the ability for either her or Green to seek spousal support. However, even though Green agreed to the custody request, he still wanted spousal support to be a possibility. With Fox moving on and looking forward to her future with MGK, Brian has had a lot to say about the matter, even claiming that Megan has been an absent mother in her kids' lives. Hopefully these two can put their differences aside for their children's sake. Number 5. Tom Cruise and Katy Holmes. Back in 2012, former power couple Tom Cruise and Katy Holmes announced to the world they were getting divorced after 6 years of marriage. Now, this split was shocking to everyone throughout the world of show business, and it sparked many rumors and speculations as to why the couple split. One of the biggest rumors of the pair's divorce was that Katy wanted to remove herself and their daughter Suri from any involvement with the Church of Scientology. Cruise then later confirms that the reason his ex-wife filed for divorce came down to the controversial religion itself. With Cruise and Holmes divorced, Holmes was awarded sole custody of Suri, and reportedly that included an ironclad ruling that Suri would not be exposed to anything Scientology related.
At number 2, Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Ariana and Pete's relationship took people by surprise. It was short and intense, and the breakup was messy too. The two started dating in May of 2018, and by late June, they were engaged. They fell for each other so quickly, moving in together and planning their lives together as well. But things ended as quickly as they began, and by October, they were done. After getting tattoos dedicated to each other, they were quickly covered up, and soon the shade began. Shortly after the news of their breakup was broadcast, Pete poked fun at his failed relationship in a comedy set, and Ariana then moved on to subtweeting her ex for shading her. And she even included a reference to their relationship in her song Thank You Next. There was some back and forth shading and dissing each other in more jokes and music, but that all seems to be over now. Ariana is now engaged to someone else, and everyone seems to be moving on now. And finally, at number 1, Khloe and Tristan's relationship absolutely exploded in the media because of cheating and backstabbing and just so much drama. Basically, this whole ordeal revolved around Khloe, Tristan, and Kylie Jenner's BFF, Jordyn Woods. Tristan cheated on Khloe multiple times during her pregnancy, including a few times with Jordyn Woods, who had been a family friend for years. When news of Tristan's infidelity broke, the internet went nuts, and so did the Kar Jenner family. Khloe and Tristan ended up breaking up, and the family also broke up with Jordyn after she backed backstabbed the family. Kylie weighed in on this scandal, saying how heartbroken she was to find out that her best friend betrayed her like that. The breakup was also talked about on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe's sisters, Kim and Kourtney, came to her side and seriously wanted to fight Tristan. Their relationship has been rocky ever since, as Khloe only keeps him in her life for her daughter's sake.